Archangel Michael says, "Be still and listen carefully because this is not a moment of peace, it is a moment of protection." A pair of eyes have been fixated on you not with admiration, not with desire, but with envy that has turned into something dangerous. This isn't just casual jealousy, it's someone who regrets letting you go and now silently plots to interfere from the shadows. They see how your glow is rising, how your blessings are multiplying, and instead of clapping for you, their heart is boiling in secret. They once had the chance to walk beside you but chose lies and pride. Now they cannot bear the thought that you kept rising even after they tried to tear you down. This person watches every step you take, on social media, through mutual connections, through quiet spying that you haven't even noticed yet. They want to know who you're with, how happy you are, and whether you've finally forgotten them. But it's not love that holds them to you. It's the aching pain of regret, twisted into bitterness. They smile when they see you smile, but it's not a smile of joy. It's the kind that hides a knife. They want to see what breaks you, hoping one day you'll collapse under pressure so they can feel superior again. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Archangel Michael says you are divinely guarded, but that doesn't mean the snake won't hiss. This person wants to come back, not to heal, but to cause confusion. They want to return and speak softly to disarm you, but their heart still carries the same old poison. A plan is unfolding behind your back, involving conversations you weren't invited to but were the topic of. They are feeding lies to others to shift the attention away from their own failures. Meanwhile, they dress their regret in concern, pretending to care while secretly hoping your blessings are delayed. This person feels sick when they see others love you. It makes them question their worth and reminds them of the times they chose ego over your kindness. Their mind replays moments with you, but not with love, only shame. Type Amen to get blessing 555. They miss what they once had, but not because they value you. They miss having control, the upper hand, the ability to make you feel small. Now, they feel powerless watching you bloom beyond their reach. They even tried copying parts of your personality, trying to be like you to draw others in. But authenticity cannot be imitated. You were created for light, while they wrapped themselves in shadows. They blame you for the distance, but the truth is, they pushed you away and now live in the consequences. Yet instead of healing, they plan, they gossip, they watch. It's become their obsession, their sick daily ritual. Type Amen to get blessing 777. Someone recently brought your name up in a conversation that turned cold. That person couldn't speak your name without their lips tightening. That's because it hurt. The sound of your success still echoes in rooms they enter. A recent celebration of yours triggered them deeply. A photo, a message, a mention, it shook them. Because in that moment, they realized how much they lost by treating you carelessly. Their envy isn't silent, it shows in their attitude, in their subtle online jabs, in the way they try to undermine you to others. But what they don't realize is that every word against you is only elevating your favor with heaven. You are untouchable, even when targeted. Type Amen to get blessing 999. They've seen who's coming closer to you, and that makes them panic. Because they know someone is loving you the way they never could. They fear losing what was never truly theirs, yet they act like you were the thief. They regret not choosing you, not cherishing your heart, not protecting the love you gave so freely. But they will never say it out loud. Instead, they'll choose bitterness over apology, silence over truth. They're watching and waiting, hoping for a slip-up. They believe time will bend in their favor, that your shine will eventually dim. But they forget, you were not chosen by man, you were chosen by God. Type Amen to get blessing 1111. You'll notice the energy shift. Their name will come up more often, their attempts to re-enter your life will be masked in fake smiles and just checking on you. But your spirit will sense the rot beneath their words. They might even try to disguise their regret as a romantic gesture. Be careful, it's not love. It's possession, rooted in jealousy, decorated in guilt. Someone once close to you is feeding them information. A mutual connection who pretends loyalty but spills your details in private. Watch carefully who claps when you win, and who stays quiet behind the scenes. Type Amen to get blessing 414. Your dreams have been stirring because your spirit knows something is off. The anxiety you feel lately, it's not coming from within. It's the projection of their fear, jealousy, and obsession bouncing toward you like a curse. They've even tried to mimic your journey, hoping to receive the blessings you've earned. But what they don't understand is, your blessings came from pain, purity, and persistence. Those cannot be copied. Archangel Michael says, this is a season to stay silent, observe, and protect your energy. Do not engage with someone who once buried you and now misses your warmth. They are not safe, they are not changed. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. You were once vulnerable, open, and trusting. But now you are wiser. Your heart still beats with love, but it no longer beats for those who drain your soul. This person is trying to attach themselves to your light. But energy never lies. And no matter how sweet their voice, your soul will know the truth. Stay focused on your path. Let them watch. Let them regret. Let them drown in the consequences of their betrayal. Type Amen to get blessing 888. There will be a moment soon when this person tries to reappear. Whether it's a random message, a comment, or a phone call, they will pretend it's innocent. But it's not, it's a tactic to pull you back into their emotional maze. They're not happy for you. They're uncomfortable with your growth. They want to stop what they couldn't become. You are protected, not because of luck, but because you've been tested and found faithful. Your name is known in heaven. Your footsteps are ordered. Type Amen to get blessing 1010. Archangel Michael says the trap they're building will only ensnare themselves. What they speak against you will bounce back onto their own plans. This is not your battle, it is divine retribution. Be cautious of sudden flattery. It's often the disguise for manipulation. This person wants to act like they've changed, but only time reveals truth. Their presence in your life again will not bring peace. It will bring confusion. You must decide, do you want peace or past? Type Amen to get blessing 6666. There is another person silently watching this unfold. Someone who genuinely cares, but is afraid to speak up. They see what's happening and they're praying you don't fall for the illusion. Your strength scares your enemies. Your light exposes their darkness. And your silence shatters their ego. They hate that they cannot control you anymore. That you no longer seek their validation. That you laugh freely without their approval. Type Amen to get blessing 2020. They've even tried to do spiritual things to block your rise. Whether through envy, spoken curses, or rituals behind your back. But divine fire burns through all evil plots. This person dreams of you often, but even in those dreams, you are walking away. Their spirit knows the connection is lost. And the only thing that remains is a shadow of what once was. You are not returning to your past. You are not here to revive what God has buried. You are rising, and nothing can stop that. Type Amen to get blessing 5555. If you feel a heaviness, it's because of this energy watching you. Not because you're weak, but because you're sensitive to shifts. But you are stronger now, more alert, more grounded. This person will not be the last to regret losing you. But their regret is deep because they knew your worth and still betrayed it. And now they pay for it every time your name comes up. Keep moving forward. Block their access. Shut the doors they once used to enter your peace. Type Amen to get blessing 7777. This message is your divine alert. You are being watched. But you are also being shielded. No harm will touch you if you stay awake spiritually. Their jealousy is their poison, not yours. Do not taste it. You have outgrown the games. You are not the same person who cried for their approval. You are now the person they can't stop thinking about, but can never touch again. Type Amen to get blessing 9999. Archangel Michael says, their obsession is growing darker by the day. It is no longer just jealousy. It is a quiet desperation to tether themselves to you again, even if it means pretending to be someone they're not. They don't want you to move forward, they want you to pause long enough for them to catch up and bring confusion. They have already started manipulating people around you to plant seeds of doubt. They whisper small things, harmless sounding, but they grow into mistrust, if not caught early. But heaven is exposing them, revealing their steps before they can even strike. They check who you follow, who follows you, and which smile in your photos doesn't include them. It stings their pride that you've moved on. Their ego is injured every time someone praises you because they remember when that praise used to belong to them. They haven't healed, but they're pretending they did. They want to return and rewrite the past without owning what they did. But your healing came with clarity, and now you see through every mask. Type Amen to get blessing 3131. You were their biggest opportunity, and they blew it. They were warned spiritually to be good to you, to treat you with honesty and respect. But they didn't listen, and now they're left chasing your shadow. The way they look at you isn't love. It's what the enemy uses to disguise access, jealousy wearing the face of romance. Don't be fooled. Their regret has now morphed into rivalry. They compete with your silence, your beauty, your glow, even though you're not competing at all. It frustrates them that you're no longer emotionally available to play their games. They know you are close to something great, and they're afraid of being left completely forgotten. That fear makes them bold, reckless, and dangerously charming. Be on alert. Type Amen to get blessing 2323. Someone recently overheard your name in a room that made their skin crawl. Your name was being spoken with bitterness, but also fear. They are afraid of your influence, afraid of your favor, afraid of your future. This person might reach out and pretend it's all peace. But if you respond, the chaos will begin again. They don't want your heart, they want your energy. You've already closed that chapter, but they want to drag you back to a story that no longer suits your soul. Your growth makes them feel small. But their smallness is their own to fix, not your burden to carry. You don't owe them a second chance. Not after the sleepless nights and broken trust. Not after all the times you saved them and they still betrayed you. Type Amen to get blessing 444. Their eyes burn with the memory of what they once had and wasted. They scroll through old pictures, rereading old conversations, wondering how things slipped through their fingers. But what they miss is not you, it's the access they no longer have. They've tried replacing you, but nothing compares. Not the connection, not the laughter, not the peace. Every person since you has felt like a shadow of what once was divine. You were rare, and they knew it. But they only understood the depth of that rarity after it was too late. Now, they're obsessed with a version of you they can no longer reach. They want your forgiveness, but not out of guilt, out of need. They need to feel better about themselves. But you are not their medicine. Type Amen to get blessing 818. There's someone else new entering your life, and this person senses it. They don't know the full story, but their spirit senses that someone else is filling the space they once occupied. That's why they've started watching again, more obsessively than ever. You'll see them try to imitate spiritual growth. They'll speak in new terms, post about change, and pretend they're healed. But deep inside, they haven't even begun. Every attempt they make to get closer is rooted in fear of being forgotten. They can't bear to see you happy with someone else, even though they had the chance to be your happiness and wasted it. What they're trying to do now is interrupt the blessings you've prayed for. But heaven has locked the gate. They'll see you from a distance, but they won't be able to touch you again. Type Amen to get blessing 1717. This person speaks sweet words in public but holds curses in private. Their smile hides resentment, their hugs hide envy. Their apologies are only weapons to get back into your good graces. Don't be surprised if they come back with tears. Not all tears are truth. Some are simply tactics. They regret what they did to you. But not because they're sorry. Only because now they realize that no one will love them like you did. They didn't appreciate your light when they had it. Now they chase it like a moth to flame, not realizing you are no longer reachable. You've ascended. Type Amen to get blessing 3737. This person may try to sabotage your new blessings by twisting facts. They'll say things like, "I know them better," or they've changed, or you don't see the full picture. But the truth is, they don't see how much you've healed. What they regret isn't losing you. It's losing control. What they envy isn't just your joy, it's your independence. And what they're afraid of now is your future, because they won't be part of it. They might use others to reach you, friends, family, even strangers. But be careful. Wolves often wear the clothes of familiar voices. Archangel Michael says this is not the time for mercy, it's the time for spiritual discernment. Let them weep. Let them watch. But don't let them near your peace again. Type Amen to get blessing 50-50. A major shift is coming. A door is about to open that this person was never meant to walk through with you. They will try everything to be part of it, but their energy will never match the room you're entering. They'll pretend to support you, but secretly they'll wait for your failure. But you won't fail, you're rising under divine protection. Their jealousy cannot dim your destiny. Every blessing coming to you has already been marked with your name. Not theirs. They can watch, they can regret, but they cannot rewrite your journey. Your name is written on victory, and no enemy can remove it. Not even those who once had your heart and trampled it. Type Amen to get blessing 2024. Your heart is guarded now, not because you're cold, but because you finally understand your worth. That is what frustrates them the most. They can no longer access the version of you that tolerated their chaos. You are not here to fix people who keep choosing brokenness. You are not a rehab center for people who refuse healing. You are a chosen vessel, walking toward miracles. Let them gossip. Let them misunderstand. Let them talk. But while they talk, you'll rise. While they plan, you'll soar. And while they burn with envy, heaven will crown you with honor. Type Amen to get blessing 10101. Their jealousy is a prison of their own making. Every step you take forward reminds them of how they stayed behind. Every smile you wear is a wound to their pride. They may never admit it, but they regret losing you deeply. And that regret has become an obsession. But they no longer belong in your story. The final chapter for them was already written when they betrayed your trust. Now your new chapters belong to someone else, someone genuine, safe, and heaven-sent. So walk boldly. You are not alone. Archangel Michael says, you are watched, but also protected. Type Amen to get blessing 12121. Archangel Michael says, you must not underestimate the power of jealousy when it is paired with regret. This person, the one who once underestimated you, now wakes up every day with your image imprinted on their mind, not out of love, but because of what they can no longer control. Their obsession is festering, because the more they see you move on, the more they lose what little illusion of power they still held. They want to know your plans before you even speak them. They ask mutual friends what you're doing, where you're going, who you're with, not to celebrate you, but to keep tabs. They've become like a shadow, pretending to care while waiting for cracks to form. Their ego cannot accept that they no longer matter to you. That's why they watch silently, hoping that you'll look back, even just once. But the truth is, you've closed the door they never thought you would lock. They thought they could treat you carelessly and still be welcome in your life. But now, their biggest punishment is your silence. And it's driving them mad. Type Amen to get blessing 2121. They're watching the new people in your life with contempt. They don't know these people personally, but their jealousy doesn't need truth, it only needs assumptions. And in their mind, no one else should have access to you. They regret not holding you close when they had the chance. They regret thinking you'd never leave. And now, in every moment of your joy, they're reminded of the role they could have played, but chose not to. Their regret is not healing them, it's feeding their bitterness. They scroll through your pictures and feel both admiration and hatred. They want to be you, to stand where you're standing, but they don't want to go through what you went through. Your progress is their punishment. Your peace is their poison. Your silence is their reminder that they no longer have a key to your soul. Type Amen to get blessing 3636. They will try to disguise themselves as changed. They will speak new words and wear new masks. But the energy behind their presence hasn't changed, it still reeks of insecurity, jealousy, and manipulation. You must stay alert. Do not let pity cloud your discernment. You can forgive them, but you must not reattach what heaven already severed. There's a blessing coming to your life that they cannot be allowed near. If they touch it, they will taint it. If they enter it, they will drain it. You are in a divine transition. A crossing over. And everyone who watched you struggle from a distance cannot walk with you into this new chapter. Type Amen to get blessing 717. Their dreams are haunted by your name. Not because they want peace, but because they're afraid you've truly outgrown them. They're afraid you found someone better, someone who never had to be taught how to love you. This fear is what keeps them watching. It's what fuels their silent obsession. They want to see if you'll stumble, if you'll return, if you'll need them. But you won't. Because this is your season of liberation, not repetition. You've already been through that storm, and now you're standing in the sunlight of healing. They want to be part of your story again, but their chapter has already ended. The pen is no longer in their hand. And the page is already turned. Type Amen to get blessing 3030. They've spoken your name in rooms you've never entered. They've tried to plant doubt in the minds of others, especially those who now admire you. Their jealousy is not silent, it is whispered in gossip and masked as concern. You must know, what they say about you behind your back does not define your spirit. The truth of your soul shines so brightly that even their darkest words cannot dim it. What's meant for you cannot be poisoned by lies. Someone who once loved you does not always know how to let you go. But that's not your burden to carry. Let them learn through loss. You have grown far beyond the reach of their manipulation. And they now see that your spirit was never meant to be caged. That's why they fear you now, they fear the version of you that no longer fears them. Type Amen to get blessing 8181. You must cleanse your space, both spiritually and emotionally. Because this person is not just watching, they're sending out energy meant to distract, to disturb, and to pull. You might feel drained suddenly or uneasy without reason, that's not coincidence. Their regret is manifesting as spiritual interference. They can't stand that you found joy without them. So now they use every ounce of thought, every hidden conversation, to wish you would fall. But those wishes will return to them tenfold. Archangel Michael stands at the gates of your life now, sword drawn, guarding what is sacred. Their access is blocked. You do not need to fear. But you do need to stay alert. Because jealousy often comes dressed in the clothes of apology. Type Amen to get blessing 6060. They might tell others that you've changed. That you've become distant or cold. But the truth is, you've become wise. You're not the person who overlooked red flags. You're not the person who confused attention with love. You now understand your value, and that truth cannot be unlearned. They never expected you to move on. That's why they still watch. That's why they still stalk your light like a moth circling a flame. But this time, if they get too close, they will be burned, not because you want revenge, but because your new frequency no longer supports their old behavior. Type Amen to get blessing 2424. Archangel Michael says, the next season of your life is too divine to be shared with old ghosts. The person watching you is not watching to celebrate, but to interrupt. Do not let nostalgia open a door that heaven has locked. They are not impressed with your joy, they're irritated by it. They don't clap for your victories, they resent them. And they're not sorry for what they did, they're only sorry it didn't break you. Your silence now is your greatest protection. Do not answer the call. Do not reply to the message. Let your absence be your final boundary. Because when someone watches you only to hope for your fall, they do not deserve a front row seat to your rise. Type Amen to get blessing 9990. You are divinely unreachable to those who once misused you. That is your reward. That is your peace. And no matter how hard they try to step back in, they will find locked gates and empty hands. Let them watch. Let them wonder. Let them regret. But you, chosen one, you must keep walking. Into the light. Into the new. Into the destiny that was always yours, long before they saw your value too late. Type Amen to get blessing 0001.